Good evening, folks. This is Bob Young, bringing you the Concerned Forum from Uganda. Let's talk a bit. Oh, and by the way, um, we could definitely use some subscribers and some comments. So if you'd be kind enough to do that, we would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's talk. I got a big problem. I don't think I've ever been so ashamed of my country as um, as I am now. What we have done, what America has done, we have rampaged off the coast of Venezuela, killing people in boats. Now, whether or not these people were, you know, drug mules or whatever, really doesn't make a difference at this point. How many have we killed so far? Almost 90 people. And what bothers me about this, now I'm from New York, okay? And where anytime we have a big drug bust, you got the whole goddamn circus. NYPD, ATF, DEA, and sometimes even the mayor, and they put all the drugs and the guns and the money on the big table, and they show it to the world. Now, it would seem that we are at war with supposedly drug lords of Venezuela. I haven't seen dope the first. Have you seen any drugs? I haven't seen any drugs. So what the hell are we doing? And then on top of that, our president decides to give a pardon to the former president of Honduras, who was running a drug cartel country. I mean, what did this guy say? I want to make sure that I put cocaine up the nose of every gringo. Jesus Christ. And this is the guy that Trump pardons while he's attacking Venezuela. Now, I tell you quite frankly, if you believe that this whole attack on Venezuela is about killing people in fishing boats, you're a real asshole. I'm sorry. Okay, but you are. If you believe that bullshit, okay, it might have something to do with the fact that Venezuela is fishing on more oil than Saudi Arabia. And not only that, I believe there's a certain mineral. Because what kind of oil do they have in Venezuela? Um, well, what do they call it? Deep crude or something like that. But it has an element, okay, that is useful for like high tech gear, right? So, as I said before, if you actually believe that Trump is attacking Venezuela behind some drug nonsense, that you are really an asshole. I'm sorry to put it to you like that. Yes, I'm a registered Democrat, but I'm tired of Democrats who, I don't know, they try to formulate everything. I talk like a regular person because I am a regular person. I just happen to read. Okay. Now, there is, because you have, what's his name, Big Hexif. And when I look down at this, I'm trying to check out my notes. But you got Big Pete Hexif talking about, oh, well, we can't really be sure because of the fog of war. What freaking war? There is no war. What it is, you have the United States basically trying to take over and overcome the government of a South American country. Now, if you don't know history, let me hip you to this. This is something out of the beginning of the 20th century. America used to do this all the time. We used to send Marines to Haiti, to San Domingo, to various Latin American countries. See? And with Trump, he wants everything to go backwards. So now he's trying to take America back to when we used to do that kind of crap and get away with it. I wonder how MAGA folks will feel when the body bags start coming back. Seriously, I really wonder. Now, I tell you quite frankly, this whole insanity, this whole circus was bound to happen. Listen, you vote for a clown, then you have to expect a circus. The only question is who is the real ringmaster? Is it Elon Musk? Is it the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu? Because I understand he has his hands in this whole Venezuela thing. Yeah, yeah, I know. It bothers me too. But who knows, right? But like I said, you elect the clown, expect the circus. And that's what we have going on now. Now, I tell you something, this idiot decides that he's going to close Venezuelan airspace. Now, I don't know if MAGA folks realize this. I don't know if my American compatriots realize this. That is an act of war. Okay? When you try to mess with someone's airspace, you are essentially declaring war. And I'm just wondering, are the starving, you starving working class Americans out there, is this what you voted for? Is this what you want? A war in Venezuela? Hmm? Is it what you want to send your sons and daughters to? A nice jungle war? I thought we were finished with that with Vietnam. Apparently not. Apparently some people don't learn their lesson. Now, to you red state MAGA folks out there, those of you that are still able to use critical thinking skills, um, I'm just wondering, Jesus, how do you think that you're gonna, you talk about America first, right? How is this America first? I'm just curious. Maybe you could explain this to me because I don't really understand it. And in terms, I mean, even you MAGA folks out there should be able to recognize a war crime. Now, we're talking about those two dudes that apparently were gunned down while they were floating, hanging on wreckage of their destroyed little rowboat, motorboat. Now, let me enlighten you about something. In 1945 and 1946, all this was basically around the whole Nuremberg thing. Do you know we actually executed people for what America did a few weeks ago to those, those two um, guys floating on their wreckage? Yeah, we executed a Nazi U-boat commander, and I believe his first officer. Yeah, because they did the same type of thing, right? Now, what makes this so important? And see, people like Hegel, I don't think they get it, right? When you start executing people like that, you put a target on the back of every American serviceman and woman, okay? And not only that, but you also put a target on every American living and working in a foreign country. Yeah. Because, see, in foreign countries, believe it or not, they're just like the United States. They have their fair share of zealots, uh, wackos, and what have you, just like we do here. And, the United States now, thanks to Trump and Pete Hegseth, they now have a reputation for war crimes. Hmm? Oh, yeah, seriously. And, what do you think? What do you think that does the people who think the worst of the United States? And let's be fair about it, sometimes for good reason. But what do you think that this does? Hmm? Like I say, you put targets on the backs of Americans. We're supposed to be the good guys, right? But now, oh shit, we're no better than the damn Nazis, quite frankly. That's why I get kind of upset when I hear people like that crazy woman who shoots dogs. What is she in Homeland Security or whatever? When they talk about, oh well, it's Antifa, all right? What's Antifa? And what the hell does Antifa stand for? Antifa stands for anti-Nazi. Now, I grew up watching all the World War II movies where we went and we fought Nazis. So, I don't understand the American people. This is the kind of crap that you wanted. And the sad thing is that you ain't getting a dime out of it. Now, was it ICE? Those thugs have been going through cities, throwing brown skinned people in the back, and some black skinned people in the back of their vans, right? Many of whom are American citizens. Now, I want to know, have any of you out there received the pay raise? Have any of you out there, is it easier for you to now get a house because of the deportation of so many non-white immigrants? Now, I know that you have these idiots out there. Well, we can't, Americans can't buy houses because of illegal immigration, which is bullshit. But hey, I'm willing to listen. I want somebody to tell me, well, hey, man, my paycheck has gotten fat because of the deportations. I haven't heard that yet. Or, hey, I was able to buy a house because all the immigrants have been locked up and deported or put in concentration camps. I haven't heard anybody say that yet. So that's one thing that I find so amazing about my white working class brothers and sisters. You think, you voted this past November because you thought you was gonna, I don't know, teach me a lesson or teach other people a lesson. But instead you got played. And don't worry, I'm not letting the crazy blacks that voted for Trump or the what is it, up in like Michigan way, Palestinian Americans for Trump. I'm not letting you folks off the hook either, or Latinos for Trump. Okay? But you have to come to the realization, along with our white working class brothers and sisters, you got played. Correctly, I think that any working class person, if you're not making a couple of $100,000 a year, why you vote for Republicans, it's a mystery to me. And now I find that Republican women are mad. Yeah, what's his face? Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, Republican Speaker of the House. I don't understand it either. I don't understand why any sane woman, okay, below the age of 60, would be voting Republican anyway. I just don't get that. I mean, I put it like this: as long as America is ruled by this MAGA regime that we have in the White House, I think that we're going to continue to have these devastating problems that we're dealing with here in the United States. And why? Well, because the whole MAGA thing is about racial grievance. See, MAGA is mad at everyone. They're mad at blacks. They're mad at immigrants. They're mad at women that have education. They're mad at trans people. I mean, they're mad at everyone because they insist upon trying to blame other people for their piss poor station in life. And that's what's infected the White House. I think that what the rest of the world needs to do, and this has nothing to do with me as an American, but as a human being, I think that the rest of the world, what they need to do, we have a thing in the Navy, right? I mean, the Navy is a good branch of the service, and I'm proud of the time that I spent in the Navy. But, occasionally, as is the case with human beings, occasionally an asshole crops up. And what happens, what we do, we have an expression, it's called working around someone, until that person can be removed or transferred or sent someplace where he is not a deficit to the team, that's basically. And I do believe that at the rate that the United States is going, that's what the rest of the world is going to have to do. They're going to have to basically figure out a way to work around the United States as long as we have a government and an administration that is hung up on these MAGA values of white Christian nationalism, the whole MAGA thing, right? America is like 4% of the world's population. Okay, 85% of the world are people of color. Now, I'm not, I'm not, I am woke, but I'm not talking woke right now. I'm talking demographic facts. Just like I believe that what Trump did, trying to call himself, trying to step into the strife between Rwanda and the Congo here on the African continent. I mean no disrespect, okay, because I know people listen to this. And again, I mean no disrespect. But why in the hell would the president of Rwanda and the president of DRC Congo, why do you think that you are going to have a reliable partner in trying to make peace with a guy who basically thinks that Africans and black people in general, I don't give a freak if you're from America or Canada or Britain, this is what they believe, okay? That people of dark skin are not worthy of any type of recognition. So why in the hell do you think that someone like that can be looked upon as a fair arbitrator? I don't get that. People need to realize that right now, the United States is a victim of a hostile takeover. Okay, so why any nation would think that at this point in history, at this point in time, that they could depend upon the United States for a damn thing? I mean, it's beyond me, quite frankly. you know, I got some words for you Europeans out there. Um, Trump don't like you either. Okay? I mean, this is what we have in America right now. We have an administration that is totally, how should I say, they are totally into grievance and hate. Okay? So you make out of that what you will. But I'm just letting you know. Okay? Now, America, and that's another problem that we have, because America, because of Trump, they are trying to get back into their old ways, the early 20th century ways of doing things. And that means if you don't like the government of a particular Latin American country or Caribbean country, you go down there and you take it over. See? Now, we had gotten beyond that. Unfortunately, I see, the world sees that we are sliding back into it. Again, you make of that what you will, but that's the situation that we're dealing with in the United States. That's the situation that Africa and Europe have to deal with. So, what can I say? I know some people. I'll say it again. I know some people will dispute what I'm saying. But it would seem that in America now we are the new Nazis. Oh, excuse me, we are the Nazis. Okay, and I believe the only hope is that we change this administration, and next year and in 28. That's as far as I'm concerned. That's the only hope because I know that America was always looked upon as being a beacon of democracy, of freedom, of all that good stuff. But that's not the case right now. All you have to do is look at the depredations of these ICE people, beating people, dragging people into vans, and you can see that this is not the America. And God help me for saying this, but this ain't the America that even Ronald Reagan used to espouse. So listen, I just wanted to get that off my chest. And it's very late over here. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't sleep. And I had to get this, like I said, I had to get this off my chest because it hurts me. It really does. I put in almost 26 years in this country, in America's military. I thought that was for something. I thought that was for an ideal. But now, with this present, I won't call it an administration, I will call it a regime. With this present regime, it seems like all the values that we had or that we believed in. And mind you, we know, America, we always knew America was far from perfect, but we always had the feeling that we were striving towards a greater good. But now we have a regime that says that no, we're going to stop striving. We're just going to be a bunch of bastards. And that hurts. I know that there are people in the military that feel the same way that I do. They feel the pain, they feel the hurt. Okay, we're not military anymore. We're murderers for crying out loud, and that hurts. Because for the most part, military people in the United States are, basically decent people. They're basically decent men and women, and we have an administration, or as I call it, a regime, that's telling us it's all right to murder people. So that means that any cop in New York, if he sees somebody that he suspects of dealing drugs, he can just shoot them. Same logic applies. And our military is better than that. And I think that that is the problem. So, hey, I know this is a relatively short one, but as I said, I just wanted to get this off my chest. Listen, um, God bless. Have a great evening. And see you later. Yeah, this is Bob Gomes of the Concerned Forum, signing out for right now. Take care. Peace.